Earlier this year, I discovered that the entire official scenario for the Mantell case is completely false from beginning to end. Now, some of you probably have heard that some of the official Air Force documents, thank you, Rudy, thank you very much. Parched like a Roswell desert. The official story of the Mantell chase is that he chased a skyhook balloon and went up too far, too high in altitude, without oxygen, blacked out, and then his plane crashed. It turns out that that's not true. The official documents in the Air Force files completely explode the entire official scenario of the event from beginning to end. And even the oxygen story is apparently not even true. He did have oxygen. The problem with the case is that the Air Force's official conclusion was originally either Planet Venus or a balloon. I found that there are memos in the Air Force files that say that they found that the Venus explanation was absolutely impossible and that the case must now be considered unexplained. This was 3 months after the famous estimate of the situation, after it was rejected. Here is Project Sign concluding that the Mantell case is unexplained. No one knows about this. The documents have been out there in the Blue Book files in the National Archives since 1976. No one's read through it. No one's pieced together the facts to find out what we should know about our own history of ufology. It's mind-blowing to me that every aspect of that case that I thought was conclusively the skyhook balloon can now be completely exploded. One of the things I did is I found that there are documents and records showing where the skyhook balloon was located that day. It was not even in Kentucky at the time of Mantell's crash. It was in Tennessee. It was too far away to even have been visible. It was 140 miles away. It can only be seen for a maximum distance of about 45 miles. It was almost three times farther away than it could be visible to the human eye. So how could Mantell have chased this when he couldn't even see it? Something is not right here with this case. It's a famous case. Everyone thinks that they know all about it, but apparently we're finding new things out all these years later, almost 60 years later, and it changes everything we know. And this is just one example. There are cases, some of you may know that I investigated the RB-47 case, an electronic intelligence aircraft over the southern United States that picked up radar signals from a UFO that was moving faster than the jet. Now, we have heard again and again, there's no instrument data, there's no scientific data about UFOs. Well, then what are these measurement data about the frequencies and the pulse characteristics of a radar signal coming from a UFO? This is the first time in history that a UFO has been tracked and detected emitting a radar beam. Shouldn't science be interested in that kind of thing? I think that the thing that forces or prevents us from getting traction in the scientific community is that even we don't know about our own ufology history. Cases like the Mantell case, the RB-47 case, are just not known. When the debunkers go on Larry King Live and other programs, no one brings us up. This has to change. We have to get this information out there most effectively, use the information that we should have known about 30 years ago, and present the information to the scientific community in a format that scientists will be interested in, not just sensationalized cases, but cases that have scientific data in them, and get them to pay attention. I think that if we were to present that information in that form, we will get a long ways towards a scientific investigation of UFOs by the mainstream scientific community. And I will work towards that end as best I can, because I think it's important. And I'm also hoping that maybe even the Roswell investigation will turn up something completely new and completely different than anything we've heard in the last 20 or 30 years. Anyway, I'll take questions afterwards off the mic, and thank you very much for your patience with my stumbling over the pages.
Thank you, Brad.